God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
So Paul Breach, he's having a bit of a breakdown really. This one is not looking great and this could get pretty messy. If you don't remember Paul Breach, lucky you, but he does also go by a variety of different names. Snapshoteye, Beauty Beyond the Eye, but most importantly, TikTok's biggest creep. That final one, by the way, he has grafted for that name, you know, he has actually earned it.
Why do you only talk to girls in the comments? Because it's only the girls that are commenting, and if it's a comment from a guy, I say hi. I don't know. Maybe because I'm dating them all and we're having babies.
Just a normal bloke, really, you know, a normal 44-year-old bloke. His whole thing is he kind of acts like a child, and if he wasn't so creepy, you know, this wouldn't necessarily be a problem. But he is a creep, so this behaviour kind of comes across like a bit of a Trojan horse approach. He has used this approach. This isn't even a theory. He's liked young girls' photos and stuff like that. He's opened up Snapchat accounts for his fans, which is always a red flag. The biggest stain on his reputation, though, is what he did in his late 20s. I'll let the clip do the talking. It is about as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, but I thought it was a rumour, me, that you got a 16-year-old pregnant.
I didn't.
17-year-old pregnant.
Well, you rumour. I'm quite fine.
How old's the girl now?
Oh, fine. Not talk about.
Is she over 30?
Not talking about family.
Could be the most David Brent response of all time. She wasn't 16. Granted, she was 17. Now, this is actually legal in the UK, but it's a bit of a reoccurring theme that morality is kind of not synonymous with the law. The thought of a bloke pushing 30, trying it on with a teenager is creepy whatever way you look at it. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that they didn't get straight into it. I'm sure Paul had to do some grafting before they, you know. But this, coupled with his general conduct, has made him a bit of a public enemy in the UK. Anytime he leaves the house, he is recorded, and in fairness, that could be in the public interest. The funniest thing is, he is always doing the exact same thing. Normally has a bag in his hand, and he always has his phone in his hand. He was actually sighted a few days ago at Carnival, and again, he was doing the exact same thing. Even Carnival aside, Paul Breach and music are generally two things that should never go together. Dancing on TikTok and being a 44-year-old man, these are two things that typically don't go together anyway. But Paul Breach has bucked this trend, and it's never fun viewing, to be honest. He's going for 50 Shades of Grey here, but it is coming across more like 50 Shades of like a reddish pink. This is, again, another thing that Paul Breach is known for, his red face. Power to him, really, but I do have my suspicions. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but his red spots kind of do line up with a shape. These red marks could be a consequence of something, and I was actually willing to believe that. But then a twist in the story happened, and everything we thought we knew about Paul could have been turned on its head.
There she was, just walking down the street, singing diddy diddy dum diddy day. She looks good, she looks fine, she is mine.
Now, at first glance, I thought he was just kind of following a woman through the forest. That would be very on brand with Paul Breach, to be fair. But it turns out maybe not. It turns out that Paul Breach actually has a girlfriend. Now, if I was Paul Breach's girlfriend, and I promise I don't want to be, but if I was, well, my only stipulation would be that I don't want to be posted anywhere. I don't want to be involved in this in any way. The girl in question, though, she hasn't taken this approach, and in fairness, maybe she's not the most rational person. To be fair, at this point, I am praying she's real. If she's not, and Paul Breach actually has 4 arms, then we are in danger. He's done enough damage with 2 arms, to be fair. Like, 4 arms could be a problem. Now, this twist in the story, it's marked a pretty big change in Paul Breach. As you've seen so far, historically, he is like the archetypal masculine geezer, but no longer, and it is getting a bit scary.
Slay girl. Oh, you go girl. Oh, you go girl. Oh, no, you go girl. Slay. You ate that. Oh my god, you ain't left no crumbs. Oh, you slay girl. You slay.
Now, believe it or not, that was actually the calm before the storm. As you've already seen, and as you're about to see more, Paul Breach has presumably gotten his girlfriend's wardrobe. He has absolutely pillaged it, and his experiments since, they've not been great, to be honest. Now, I'll be entirely real, I don't really have anything witty or substantial to say. I could maybe do a little play on a nurse thing, I don't know. Really, my overriding thought is, you just don't look great, really. It's Paul Breach, like, we know there are ulterior motives here. Now, this could be 4D chess. Paul Breach could be mocking certain YouTubers that used to make videos on him. They wore dresses, and they did some bad stuff, but we'll get to them later. It's obviously not that, though. Paul Breach is doing this for the shock value, and it's fair to say that people in the UK TikTok community, they were pretty shocked.
Wow. Just well. Has he actually turned into a transvestite now, or has he announced that he's a girl and identified himself as a girl, or what? I don't know.
I mean, it's cutting edge commentary, really. If I was this good, then maybe I'd have more subscribers. But this is very much Paul Breach's brand now, and he has gone on live and kind of defended and spoken about it.
Wait till I post this on Instagram. Oh, the motherfucking insecure boys are going to get very upset. Oh my god, I can't fucking wait.
Now, I don't know how he does it, but he does make me cringe every time he talks. Kind of impressive, but also a bit tiring.
Oh my god.
The idea that he thinks that people don't like him or are criticising him just because he's wearing a dress, it's not that really. I just don't think he's pulling it off personally. But he has fully convinced himself of this idea, and he is even posting about it on Instagram now. He posted a picture of some blokes in dresses, and then he followed it up with a crazy caption. These guys are firefighters, and I don't see any hate comments. Why would that be? Fair play to them all for having fun and looking good. Now, Paul Breach isn't a firefighter, but he does get flamed as much as one. But I will reiterate, people aren't speaking out against Paul Breach because he's wearing a dress. They're speaking out about Paul Breach because of his past behaviour, and that was going on way before he put on a dress. Either way, he had, by this point, fully convinced himself that this was the reason people had a problem with him. And he kept beefing the people on TikTok, and it's about everything you would expect it to be.
Hey, this will all be over. You'll have to sit with yourself and know you did this for views and... Oh, Derek, that's why I make TikToks.
I don't know if he's pretending to give back shots here, but that's not an image you'll be able to get out of your head. And I still don't really know what he's saying, but he did keep going.
I don't do it to fix global warming. I do it for you to watch it. And you know what, Flower Fairy? I think that might not be your real name, but it might be. You watched it.
Now, I guess he's saying that he's view baiting and it is working, and to be fair to him, you know, it is working. But with that in mind, I will just never understand the mentality of doing anything for views. Because sure, a number on an app is going up for you, but is it worth becoming a social pariah for that number going up? And I think it is, man, because every time he leaves the house, as we've seen, he is recorded. Doesn't seem fun, but it also does seem like he's dying on this hill, because there is no way back.
Love it. I will sit down with myself, I promise you, in 78 more years, and I'll look at myself and went, you made TikToks for people to watch. Who do you, drop my shoulder, think you are?
I mean, I will say, Paul, I don't think you've got 78 years or whatever it was you said. You're not 18, although you might think you are. You are 44. It might all actually come down to that. All of his behaviour can kind of be explained by him thinking he is actually 18, especially all the creepy weird stuff. To be fair, like, that is a good theory.
And I look divine. I look slay. I look like a king and a queen and a pookie.
Yeah, I think we've seen enough of this. Let's move on. Because Paul, otherwise, has actually been going on the offensive. While he is throwing stones from a glass house, he is actually justified in what he's saying. The worst person you know, he actually made a great point.
Robbie, thank you for the follows, Corey. Thanks for those. And it's really upsetting. More than those nasty words that weird YouTubers made. Where are you now? Where are you now? In hiding. Silence is deafening. Paris Ryan, thank you. Silence is deafening.
Now, this is like Christmas for Paul Breach, and admittedly, he's had 44 of them, but this could be the best one. There's a couple of YouTubers that had made a lot of videos on Paul Breach. They had, to put it lightly, done some stuff. And we're not going to go into it too much, because if you know who Paul Breach is, then you are probably already aware. The situations are terrible, and Paul Breach fully ran with them.
Make sure you answer allegations unless it's towards you, and then you're not going to say nothing, are you? Emmy, hi, thank you, Roses. Tyler, I've been a nasty girl.
He's fully right, and this is a rare win for Paul. God knows he needed a win. They were beyond hypocrites, but by putting their criticism back at them, he is kind of admitting that it is a valid criticism. And with that in mind, he is kind of shooting himself in the foot. It's a bit like a murder-suicide, but you can't win them all. But upon hearing what ImAllexx and Lewis Buckin did, this is the happiest we've seen Paul.
Hello, Alex. Have a great day.
He's not been as happy since he opened that Snapchat account for fans. I mean, he needed a win. He really did. And basically, every video those guys made is now just completely obsolete. I mean, you look back at them, and they are now very weird.
Don't see any difference, to be honest. I'm 100%, apart from maybe the lips, the eyes there. Just maybe all of it. But, you know, I won't tell if you don't tell.
You are a grown man, an adult, right? Get off Snapchat. Right? I feel like I'm a criminal.
Well, I mean, yeah, paulbreach is now fully milking this as if it absolves his past.
Here we go again. I'm sure I've made videos like this in the past. Lessons don't get learned, but we'll see what goes on. So it turns out, another blue-ticked individual who likes to talk about other content creators for banters, laughs, make themselves the internet celebrity that they call themselves. Well, it turns out things that they've been doing in their private life aren't quite right.
I mean, you know it's serious when paulbreach isn't in a silly, goofy mood. But to be fair on this one, I do just have to let him cook.
Tables have turned. Things aren't looking too good for you. Hi.
So we'll let him have his time in the sun. Not too long, to be fair. He will burn very easily. But this has clearly gone to his head. And judging by his Instagram, he now thinks he is God. Anytime a bloke thinks he's God, you know, we're on the precipice of something bad happening. And when it's a man whose personal philosophy is if there's green grass on a pitch, then play ball, you know, we should probably avoid that happening. Either way, like and sub, and when it does happen, you'll see it here. And other than that, I'll leave you with one more lesson.
I'm not an 18-year-old girl, people. I'm not an 18-year-old girl.
Well, despite what they say, I guess we aren't what we eat. Oh, mate, that's a joke paulbreach would make. I don't know if I can keep that one in.